Bring me Java, bring me joy. An Adrienette Cafe alternate universe fanfiction. Chapter 3. She's very upset. She's exhausted. Honestly, Marinette wants to slam her head into the counter and scream. Part of her feels really, really bad because she had meant to greet the barista with what she hopes is her winning smile, but then work happened and she had to practically drag herself to this coffee house. The barista must have noticed her coming in later than usual because, one, it's coming close to 2:45, and there are other people in the shop that he needs to attend to. Marinette drags herself to her feet, knowing that she needs a more caffeinated drink than her usual order. She sighs and heads over into the line. Her eyes just barely catch on to the familiar green eyes, now etched into an unfamiliar, worried look. The look doesn't vanish from his features when she gets up to order, rubbing her eyes with a tired hand. Before he can ask if she wants a regular, or if she's okay, Marinette says out loud with a grumpy but trying voice, "Can I have a large black light roast coffee?" There's no doubt it's a surprise that causes his eyebrows to shoot up. "Here?" "Yes." She nods. "Name?" "Well, that's new." "Marinette," she says, and without thinking adds on, "You?" If she had been more awake, her face would have burned red and she would have apologized for what she had said. It's probably part of his job to ask her for her name, to make sure she gets the right coffee when there's multiple people in the coffee house. Unfortunately, she is not awake enough to process any of that, and most of her brain power is going to keeping her standing on her 2 feet. Luckily, the barista smiles kindly and laughs a bit as he writes her name on the cup. She swears she sees him speak her name as if he's tasting it on his tongue. "Adrian, nice to finally meet you," he jokes. Marinette tries for a smile. Going back to the spot she now claimed as her own, she puts her head down, trying to get her head to stop spinning or from doing whatever it is doing right now. She feels like she's about 2 blinks away from sleep, and she can't even bring herself to stop from getting there. She's just so tired. Tired of work, tired of her boss, and tired of being tired. God, the weekend couldn't come sooner, and yet it's only Tuesday. Your much more caffeinated drink." She nearly wrenches the cup from Adrian's, as she's found out hands, and downs maybe a fourth of its contents. The heat burns her tongue and her throat, but she can't even bring herself to care. If anything, it makes her more awake, and that is definitely welcome. Out of the corner of her eyes, she can see Adrian watching her in both amusement and concern. She can't say she blames him. If she was in his place, she'd also be gaping. "Rough day?" he asks, with what almost seems like a smirk on his face. Marinette groans and nods in confirmation. "You have no idea." "I can listen." "I think if I talk about it, I won't even go back," she admits, but talking to him has somewhat calmed her down. "I hope your day hasn't been as horrendous as mine." He chuckles. "I don't know if you could even compare our days. I think we lead quite different of lives," Adrian jokes. She cracks a smile. "Tell me about your day, Adrian." Is it alright for her to take a moment out of this terrible day to admire his name? With all of the awful things to happen today, at the very least, it led to her discovery of his name, and dear Lord does it fit him. She's never seen him as an Adrian, but now it makes so much sense. "Well, I had a class this morning, but it wasn't too bad. A bit mindless, admittedly, but not too difficult. I handed my god-awful chemistry lab in last week," he laughs. "And then I went back home and did homework and house chores, and came here, and here we are," he finishes with little jazz hands. The motion makes her laugh, and she feels a lot more awake. That might also be the coffee's doing, but Marinette's sure that he helped too. "Sounds like a pretty decent day," she notes. "Definitely. I'm really sorry that your day hasn't been great. I'll get you a refill on the house," he says with a generous smile. Marinette waves his apology goodbye away, but allows him to take the mug to give her a second cup. He comes back to her with a flourish, and she has to laugh a little. "You're quite the performer, may I say?" she teases him. It's not even one of those compliments that she says when she wants people to like her, so she says something that's a little uncommon. It's a genuine compliment for observation. He's an oddly stage-like person. Right now, he's just a barista in a coffee house, but there's an energy around him that just seems so much more than just a guy who makes a killer latte. He has immense showmanship and a pretty strong stage presence at that. Perhaps it's just his immense charisma shining through. Not everyone was a theater kid growing up, and usually it's obvious when they were. "I try to have fun," Adrian admits. The sound of the doorbell rings, and he turns to see that it's from a customer leaving, not one entering the shop. There's a small sigh of relief that Marinette notes that runs through his features, and it makes her giggle a little. She does take this time to look at his profile view. The more and more she talks and sees them, the more and more she realizes just how attractive he really is. It's as if he's the most photogenic person on earth, because he looks great from any angle, and even in harsh fluorescent lighting. He has pretty common features, not any that really stand out. He doesn't have a jawline that could gut glass, nor does he have a thick, manly beard or anything like that, but that doesn't make him any less attractive. His features are a bit softer, but not as rounded that he has a feminine male attractiveness like some other celebrities do. His features almost lead him to look like the average male, but Marinette would argue that he doesn't look average at all. "Hey, I know that band," Marinette says without thinking, pointing to the t-shirt Adrian is wearing underneath his apron. The cry must have shocked him out of his intense thinking state, because he turns to look at her in confusion. "The band! 20KS17, she explains with a smile. "You do?" he says, surprise evident in his voice. Marinette nods. "Yeah, one time me and my friends were out at a bar, and they were the second and best band to perform. Since then, we've tried to go to any gigs they have. I had no idea other people were fans like us. I also didn't know they had t-shirts. I would have gotten one," she says. She makes a mental note to herself to text the girls that they need to get t-shirts. She's always loved supporting small groups and businesses, and right now, 20KS17 has too much talent to not share with the world. "Oh, the t-shirts aren't out yet," Adrian says with a little laugh and smile. She has no idea why he's smiling though, because how on earth did he get t-shirts if they haven't even had it out yet? Nana internally wonders if she's accidentally fallen for a crazy super fan who broke into some warehouse or something to get a shirt from a band. That's definitely a crazy thought, but not a 0% chance. The only reason I have it is because, well, he rakes a hand through his blonde hair. "I'm the guitarist," Adrian says with a grin. "Oh. Huh. Well," Marinette feels her face heat up, and she kind of feels like slamming her head into the counter again. Oh my god, she gushed about following his band? But maybe he'll take it the wrong way and think that she's the crazy one here. Now she's eternally grateful that she didn't make any jokes about him breaking into some warehouse or whatever. That would have been way more embarrassing. However, if it's possible. She can only guess Adrian knows how flustered she's feeling, as if it wasn't obvious by her burning face and panicked eyes. He doesn't seem to be upset though. In fact, he looks amused. "I'm glad you like our band. We've been having trouble gathering a fan base, even though we've been booking gigs. And it's nice to know some people actually like us, especially when you're not our families or high school friends. That's gotta count for something, huh?" He laughs. "Yeah," Marinette manages. "You guys are really talented. I've invited some friends to come along. I guess I just gotta help you build it up. Crazy how it worked out, though. I never thought I'd ever meet anyone from the band, even though, thinking about it now, it's probably more common to meet you guys than any other celebrities around town, since you guys are locals and newer and all." She rambles. He's smiling at her, and she just hopes he's entertained. At the very least, she now knows why he has such a strong stage presence. He has to if he's going to be commanding a bar with drunken 20-somethings in it and people who are just there to leave with someone new. His looks also probably help him hold some attention. It's held hers. Thank you, Adrienne says honestly. That really means a lot. Of course, she smiles. Adrienne's smile grows, and he opens his mouth to speak. We have another gig coming up, but it's not like our other ones. It's a bit of a higher-end one, if you want to go. We're performing at annual local music festival, around 4-ish. It's 2 Saturdays from the next. If you maybe have the time, I'd love to see you there, he says almost nervously, like he doesn't think she'll even want to take the offer. That notion is honestly ridiculous, because she's only barely containing her foolish urge to jump up in joy. I'd love to, Marinette says, allowing the excitement to seep into her voice. Adrienne's entire face brightens up. Really? Of course. That's great then. Actually, you could even go backstage and meet everyone else, he offers, and Marinette is just about to faint from joy. Just tell one of the security people that you're here with 20K as 17. Adrienne agrees, and they should let you in. Even if they don't, they always go and ask the people, and I can claim a pass for you, Adrienne says. Marinette is honestly overwhelmed with joy. And I think the rest of the band will be really excited to meet you. They're all super friendly and will really appreciate your support, he says with an excited smile. I will definitely be seeing you there, Marinette promises him. Great. Checking back the time, Marinette hands the mug back to him with a little smile and stands up to leave. A hand on her arm, however, stops her. Adrienne holds something that is definitely not her mug out to her. It's a piece of paper. Most importantly, it's her piece of paper that she's been looking for nearly a week at this point. Oh my gosh. Marinette could die from mortification, like right here, right now. Oh my gosh. I swear, I can explain. I don't mean to... Don't be. He cuts her off with a gentle smile and laugh. I love the drawing, honestly. And I'm flattered, and actually, I want you to continue this. I'd love to see how it turns out. For some reason, Marinette gets the hint that he's not just talking about the paper. So she grins and nods and rushes right out, cheeks red and all,